Hey everybody, thanks for checking out 1000 Red Gates and our website Worth It series. This is actually a follow-up video to the first episode that we did that covered the website www.easypickandstore.com. I decided that after my experience analyzing the website and then the subsequent conversations that I had with the seller, that you know what, maybe the website Worth It series isn't enough when it comes down to just figuring out whether a website qualifies as something that's worth buying. I decided that I need to do like a follow up series, and I decided to call it Buyer Beware because specifically after speaking with the seller with EasyPickandStore.com, and then after essentially asking them these questions that I covered in the video, they went about deleting pretty much every single comment that I ever made on their seller page. I mean, they insulted me, they threatened me, and to be totally honest, they had me banned off of Flippa for 1 month. At least they had me banned from buying or selling websites, which is absolutely, I mean, that's unheard of. So, you know, all the seller had to do was be transparent in their comments. They had to be transparent in what they were offering. They had to be transparent in the data that they were providing. The questions were not complicated, they were pretty simple. And, just as a follow up, if you didn't get a chance to watch that video or listen to that podcast, I will go ahead and just remind you of what the questions were. So essentially, the question number one had to do with the Easy Pickens uh, keywords. And I can show you down here, in their actual brief that they have on Flippa, it says that they have a top one keyword. That top one keyword was Easy Pickens. Ended up being Easy Pickens is actually just a brand name that's used for a brick and mortar store location that's in New York and New Jersey and Philadelphia. So they were the ones generating all of the traffic, that actual brick and mortar store brand. What the seller who owns Flippa ended up, well, the seller who owns EasyPickensStore.com did was they essentially just siphoned off of the traffic. They decided, you know what, we're going to get ourselves placed higher than this brick and mortar location. The people searching for that brick and mortar location will see us instead of them, and then they'll take their traffic. And that's pretty much what they've been doing. Now, has some of that traffic siphoning transition and converted over into sales? Yes, because they both companies are clothing shops for women. So people who are actually searching for the Easy Pickens brick and mortar clothing store were assuming that the website that they were coming across belonged to that same brand, when in all honesty it actually belonged to this seller who created a website with the same name and who's now getting what you could basically say is free traffic off of another brand's work. The brick and mortar location has a social media page. They put work in there. Their Facebook page has 60,000 followers. Their Instagram page has a couple thousand followers, and they're pretty active. So that's what the seller has been doing. So when I made that comment and I, asked them for an explanation, they deleted my comment and they went off on me. They, claimed me that I was defaming them. They claimed that I was abusing them. I mean, they literally lost their minds, and I don't blame them. I mean, if you're trying to pawn off a website that's not worth $1 of the price that you're asking for, and then someone pretty much lays out in a very factual and evidence-based way how you're attempting to scam people, yeah, I can understand that type of reaction, but not at that level. I mean, they kind of just they went too hardcore, to be honest with you. It's I almost felt like it'd be a fist fight if they saw me in person. Like, it was totally unprofessional. So that was the first thing that I had asked the seller to address. The second thing that I had asked them to address was the fact that the majority of the visitors hitting their website were mobile users. I mean, we were talking the lion's share of their visitors were mobile users, and they don't really actually. I'm gonna look over the data just to make sure, but at nowhere in their website do they, or in their brief, do they show that the majority of their users are mobile-based users. So when you actually run an analysis, though, on the website, you find out that their mobile visitor bounce rate is 70 to 80%. I mean, that pretty much means the majority of people who are visiting their website are hitting one page and then leaving immediately. They're not looking at any other pages. They're not doing anything extra. So how that has been translating over to sales is completely beyond me. And I'm starting to wonder if they were actually just fabricating their sales as well. So this is the point that follows back to the first point, which is where I was saying that there is brand confusion. People are actually looking for the brick and mortar location for Easy Pickens, the one that actually is a New York based brick and mortar clothing store. And instead, they're coming across this easypickinsstore.com, which is what the seller owns. And they hit that website and realize, wait a minute, yes, it's a women's clothing store, but it's not the type of women's clothing that we're looking for. So the New York-based brand and the brick and mortar location, their type of women's clothing is more along the lines of, how do you say it? So sort of like urban wear, right? Streetwear, things of that nature. It's got a little bit more style. The seller and their website is more sort of like a Vineyard Vines type of thing. I mean, they're completely different styles. So you can see why then when potential customers and visitors hit the easypickinsstore.com website, they are totally and utterly confused because they know that this is not the same brand style that they're used to seeing at the brick and mortar locations that they visit in New York. And that's why the bounce rate is so high. And that's another reason why I know for sure that they're just siphoning off traffic to the best of their ability. So number three was, and this is the third point. The third point was specifically regarding the backlinks. Oh, and mind you, they never addressed the second point either regarding their bounce rate or any of that. They just deleted all my comments. And I can show you right here if you just take a look. And if you're listening on the podcast, you can just hop over onto YouTube and find the video there. But if you look on the comments, essentially, I had, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 comments that were, between me and other people who are watching this website, and me responding to them directly, me answering their questions that the seller himself would not ask, and kept saying, private message me, because they didn't want the information to be scrutinized publicly. So he deleted all of those comments. And like I said, and to the point where he got me banned for, 1 month. But fortunately, I petitioned Flippa. We had a conversation. They realized that me being banned was totally wrong. So they're removing the ban within the next day or two. So that just kind of goes to show you that the information that I was providing was value added, and it was definitely beneficial for the other people who are watching the list. So I'm going to update what my final, I guess what you could say, judgment on this website was. Originally, I said, hey, you could buy it, but only if you can get the seller to answer, these specific questions and provide more public data regarding these points. If you could get them and the answer seems satisfactory and the data seem clean, then it would definitely be a website worth buying. I'm 100% taking that statement back, and I'm giving a clear answer that I say, buyers beware, do not buy this website. It is totally fugazi. It's totally, completely manufactured. I mean, the fact that the entire traffic relies on a keyword brand name that they do not own, and it has another brand that has that same keyword, and that's the brand that's actually generating all of the traffic using their social media and their advertising and their marketing, and that this person is just basically jumping on that traffic and benefiting from it. That's 100%. You have to avoid that at all costs, because it won't take much for, let's say, especially if you're a USA based buyer. If you're a USA based buyer and you buy this website, it's nothing for them, for the brick and mortar location, the Easy Pickens brick and mortar location, to go ahead and send you a cease and desist or sue you or whatever it is, to say, hey, look, you know what? You're using our brand name. You're selling women's clothing. There's 100% brand confusion. The brick and mortar location has been in business longer, and they obviously have a bigger web presence. I mean, just with their social media alone, 60,000 followers on Facebook, and a couple thousand on Instagram. That's just enough for someone to vote in their favor. I mean, you do not want this type of trouble with a website. You don't want to buy a website that essentially is, how do you say it, just taking advantage of another website's work. And then when you finally get your hands on it, and then Google runs a new algorithm update, and they start culling backlink types that are black hat SEO types, which is the majority of the backlinks that this website has. I mean, it's all black hat SEO, and black hat SEO gives you a good short-term jump, but over the long term, it completely works against you, because once Google recognizes that you used a lot of black hat SEO techniques, you have low-level quality domains pointing to your website, they'll just go ahead and get rid of all of them, and then your rank drops considerably. Google deranks you, and then they penalize you. Nobody wants to deal with that. It's not even worth the money. Even if they gave you the website for free, it's just not worth it. So, I'm going to keep this video short. I noticed that the last one was pretty much in the 40 minute length, and I know people don't have a lot of time for that. So I'm hoping in my subsequent videos, and I'm going to be coming out with one every couple of days, going over these websites. There's another one that I'm going to be doing that's on a Flippa website that's pretty much the most active website right now that's being bidded on and commented on. And I'm going to be doing it's a dog e-commerce website. So I'll be working on that video soon, and I will be posting it, but in the podcast as well. But so final call on this. This is a buyer beware. www.easypickandstore.com. Do not buy it. There's a reason that this is the third attempt for this website to be sold. Okay, and there's a reason why the seller does not answer any of the questions directly when it comes to asking for data. They don't answer it publicly. It's always private message, private message. And the thing about it, and what I've learned from my experience, is that what they're doing is they're private messaging you some screenshots, some videos, and they're always clipped and edited to look like they're presenting information that they're really not. If they posted it publicly, then people with a little bit more experience with digital marketing and search engine optimization and website analytics, they would easily be able to look over that information, tear it apart, and then tell you whether or not it's actually valid. So buyer beware. Do not buy www.easypickandstore.com. Avoid it. But anyway, thanks again for checking out this video slash podcast. I say video slash podcast because they're both being recorded simultaneously. But I think I'm noticing that a lot of my viewers are on desktop, so I just want to make sure I always have a screen grab, something going on, so I can just kind of show you the data. But I really love the support. I got a lot of messages from you guys asking about other websites for me to take a look at, asking just some basic questions about digital marketing, and even some more complex questions specifically about search engine optimization. So I'd like to figure out how to dive into some of those topics where I'm not going on for 40 minutes and providing more clear and concise points. But I really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be great. I mean, I'm going to keep doing this no matter what, no matter how many subscribers I get, really no matter how many views I get. If I could just help out one person per video, then I would be totally satisfied. So, but if you want, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you are on YouTube, if you're on Anchor, just go ahead and give it a listen, give it a play. On YouTube, I'm 100. I said 100, 1,000 Red Gates, and also on Anchor, I'm 1,000 Red Gates, and you can find me also on Spotify. Thanks again, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.